I'm extremely pleased in the way that we attacked the game and the opportunities that we created. I think over the course of a couple of games here at home, we found it difficult to get ourselves in positive areas and look like a home team. Our goal scoring opportunities and moments were, I felt, frequent enough to have won the game, but of course bitterly disappointed in conceding 3 goals. What I will say is there are times when, certainly with a slight change of focus in the shape of the group, and also with bodies, or a particular body in Ken, who's been extremely productive for us as a centre-back. I do think that there are things we can improve. The past has seen us be difficult to play against and quite frugal in terms of conceding goals. We've now scored 10 goals in 3 games, but sadly we're leaking too many. So a victory that I felt was certainly something we deserved, as we've missed out.
What did you see in the first half that led you to replace Liam with Bradley?
There were a couple of things that I felt Bradley might just deal with a little bit better. We were getting ourselves in more positive areas higher up the field, and I just thought there were signs that it could be a little bit of an issue against a pacey front line that Ottawa have. There were some very good things that Liam did, and certainly in possession, as always, he was very thoughtful with the ball. It was purely a tactical move.
You mentioned you guys need to improve. What specifically do you think the team needs to do going forward?
To what, sorry?
Like, need to improve better going forward, because you mentioned you guys need to improve. Like, what specifically,
I think there's been a huge emphasis. In fact, I know there's been a huge emphasis within our work to be more productive going forward. But 4 games ago, we've had 4 away games. I was sitting here talking about how we were going to create more chances, how we were going to break teams down. And today has seen a much different mindset and certainly productivity in the game. I'm delighted, of course, with the goals. Sometimes when you shift too far one way, which I believe we have, we're now looking at the game in a very different light. There's a lot of positive play, creative play. All 3 forwards have scored again, which I'm so pleased about. But maybe the pendulum's gone a little bit too far, and it's cost us a game today. I do honestly think that, I've said it before, that there are mindsets and moments in a game that I think definitely individuals, when they look back at the way the game unfolded, will believe that they should have done better. The final goal is more than preventable, certainly in that midfield area. And it's all part of each challenge that is presented here. There were lots and lots of good things tonight. Certainly the goals against were not.
We've talked in the past about just the difference between playing at home and on the road, and how maybe on the road there's not as much of a pressure to dictate the game. Do you think that had anything to do with the result tonight, or do you feel like you guys got off on the front foot?
The second goal reminded me of 1 or 2 we've conceded, where it was a counter punch, which has to be down to a lack of focus. A long, rangy ball in behind the back line that leaves us exposed. And listen, the finish is exquisite. It's a fabulous finish, so it's not taking anything away from the player there, but certainly preventable from our point of view. I was most disappointed with goals 1 and 3. Free kick given away 3 minutes before half time. There were plenty of things that went on before the free kick actually was given. And that for me is all about the appreciation of the moment in the game, the management of the game. We're in a good place. We've created enough chances to have been probably in a better spot than we were. But we should go in 1-0 up, and I think the mindset of the opposing team is very different. I've been there myself. You score a late goal and suddenly, you're invigorated. You feel the game's there for you to go and maybe attack a little bit more. And certainly for a team that possesses the ball as well as them, it gave them a shot in the arm. And goal 3, late on in the game, especially after coming back from being 2-1 down, it's far too soft. Where the goals, the strikes from, the lack of pressure on the ball, and just the general feel about seeing the game out. And I know the players are better than that. There's going to be some serious disappointments when they look at the footage again, because we should have won the game. We've got ourselves in a good enough spot to win it.
How does having a fully fit Rapapa and a healthy Cam change what you guys can do offensively?
You've only got to look at their output. I think I said in the build-up to it, 3 out of the 4 forwards scored at the weekend, and 3 of them have scored again tonight. They're as effective, they're as bright and positive as any forwards in the league, and I would have to say I think they're the best front line in the league. Have we always given them enough service? Hopefully we're moving in that direction. Some of the delivery today was so much better than in the past. The build-up play, the connection between any of the front line and Lebo has been very, very good. The big conundrum now is, sticking a finger in the dike and stopping as many goals as we're conceding. And I do think that's a lot down to personality. There were many, many moments in that game that we should have been able to deal with a lot better than we did. And that's taking nothing away from them. I thought they played ever so well. But against a side that normally outpossess most teams in the league, they pass the ball more than anyone else in the league. We've edged possession, we've built some terrific pressure, we've created some wonderful opportunities. In the end, it's been the one thing that I think we've been fantastic at in the past and up until now that has let us down, and that's our defending, not our attacking.
Most of the chances that you had came from inside the box, and you talked after the Charleston loss about a month ago about just finding more offensive creativity. Have you seen that group kind of evolve over the last month, and how did that manifest itself tonight in terms of the offensive creativity and the attacking third?
Well, I think the shape of the group has helped a little bit tonight. We do have some very creative players and effective players that I believe are finding a better rapport and understanding. I want to say that the guys are clinical. Cameron definitely, because he's only been on the field 2 or 3 minutes. But there were moments, certainly for Rapapa in the opening seconds of the game, that if you're clinical, we see that go in, or certainly make the goalkeeper work. And they're easily forgotten when you score 3 goals. That's not being critical of our guys. It's just being realistic, because goals, as we've seen, change games. And I like the way that the group is looking. There's a nice understanding. There's a lot of confidence in the group that we're going to score. There's just some work to be done at the moment, structurally, to prevent sides from staying in the game, or at least thinking that they can get something out of it.
How do you? You've talked a lot about improving defensively. How do you take that and applied to the game on Wednesday against a team who's towards the top of the scoring charts?
We're not going to have an awful lot of time practically to work at this. I do look. I've seen this group keep many clean sheets and look very difficult to play against and break down. In many ways, it's a little bit like scoring goals. There's got to be an internal belief and a bit of pride in keeping that goal intact. There's more that can be done. I think the guys have taken some great steps in the other direction, and they've now started thinking about the bread and butter work, which has given them good results. It's certainly in the past. You know, I'm not in the habit of beating teams 4-3 and 5-4. Balance has always been the key to everything that I've worked on. And like I said, I think the pendulum swung a little bit too far one way. And I've no doubt in my mind that all of the guys in that locker room have the right mentality to see games out. They're just not locking in on that at the moment at the right times.
Cam, you scored 5 times in your last 5 games now. How relieving is it after you've struggled with injury over the course of the year to be able to get it done?
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice to get on the run again and get back playing. And yeah, no, I'm glad I could score again and help the team, well, try and win, which, yeah, we didn't do tonight, which was very disappointing.
What did you see on that, on Ottawa's equalizer there at the end too?
I saw him chop and then score an unbelievable goal. To be fair, they've had 3 unbelievable goals, and I mean, there's not really too much that we could have done about it, which is disappointing in itself, but that's football.
Daniel, you're tied for the league lead in goals right now. What is it that I guess you bring to the team in terms of what allows you to be such a prolific goal scorer for this team?
Try to explain me the question again.
What has allowed you to be such a high scoring player so far this year for this team?
I mean, work hard is my goals. Is the reason of my goals are all the team. It's not me scoring the goal. It's the guy that passed me the ball, the guy that make the cross or something like that. It's all the team that the reason that I score goals, and yeah, that's that.
I know it's disappointing not to come away with all 3 points, especially when you had the lead late. Is there any consolation in scoring 3 goals at home, or does it just kind of?
I mean, at the end of the day, you'd want to win the game. It doesn't matter if you score 3 goals. If you score 1 goal and they don't score, then you win the game. That's how football is. So, yeah.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you.